Hey everyone, it's Angela and this has got to be my most requested video ever. Everybody wants to know what I think of my Sony A7II. So right now it's just kind of the middle of winter, it's really cold out, so I really haven't been going out and shooting that much. But this morning when I woke up, I was checking my weather apps and things like that. It said it was going to be really cloudy, but also really cold, 21 degrees. And I don't know about you, but that does not make it inviting to go out. But since it was really cloudy and we haven't really had a lot of clouds lately, I just forced myself to get out of bed and to go shoot. And so I thought this was a great day to go out with my 5D Mark II and my Sony A7II. So I rushed out to DC this morning, headed to the Jefferson Memorial at the Tidal Basin, and the sunrise was gorgeous. It was pink, the clouds were beautiful, the memorial was beautiful, everything was beautiful. So it was really the perfect morning to go out and test these two cameras together. So on the Sony, I had my 28 to 70 millimeter lens, and then on my Canon, I had 24 to 105. So everything on my 5D Mark II is already all set up. I already have my L bracket from Really Right Stuff, and then I have my ball head from Really Right Stuff. Was a BH55 ball head, and I bought it specifically for this camera because it's so large and in charge that I felt like I needed a bigger ball head. But with this guy, I wanted to get a smaller one just because I'm kind of downgrading in size and everything, and I wanted to downgrade for the ball head. So I just ordered maybe like an hour or two before I started filming this. I ordered the BH30 ball head for this. So I should be receiving that soon, and I'm really excited for this. The thing about my 5D Mark II, I've had this for about 5 years now, and basically I could just be blindfolded and do everything that I need to do with my camera without even looking. It is so second nature to me to adjust my ISO, to adjust my aperture settings, to do whatever I need to do with my camera for this. So when I was out with my Sony A7II, it was kind of a little bit more difficult. First of all, I thought I was really playing with a toy camera. It's so small, so light, so not used to just this little camera that it really felt like a toy. It was a lot of fun, but it's a little weird at the same time too. So since I don't have two tripods, I just have one tripod, I was kind of taking pictures like this. I needed a way to stabilize my camera because you guys know me, I'm an HDR photographer. I take multiple exposures of every shot, and so I needed to have a way to stabilize it. So I was kind of taking pictures like this, and I probably looked like a serious photographer if anyone saw me out taking pictures this morning. One thing I have to say about this is that it's so much easier to take HDR images with this, just because it's 5 exposures automatically. All you have to do is hit the button and 5 will snap like this. With the 5D Mark II, I can only take 3 at a time, so I have to adjust the setting or adjust the spin wheel to do my upper 3 exposures and my lower 3 exposures, and that can be kind of a hassle and a pain sometimes. So in that way, this is so much easier and so much more efficient and quicker. Another thing is that I did notice that the battery was running kind of low, and I've heard from different people and different sources that the battery life on these Sony cameras aren't very good, and I don't know what it was when I left the house, but I know by the time that I was done, it was already at 48%, and I wasn't out very long. I was probably out for like 20-30 minutes, and it had already gone to 48%. So I think I need to get some extra batteries with that. And one last thing I noticed was that these buttons are so much smaller than my 5D Mark II. Like, everything is so much smaller on the Sony, but especially for this little spin wheel here, when I was trying to adjust the ISO or do anything, you have to press this side of the spin wheel to get to the HDR5 exposure setting. That this little button in the center was really sensitive. So, was just really sensitive. So I kept on like clumsily going through and trying to look through my images and things like that, and it was kind of difficult. It may have been because I was wearing gloves too, because like I said, it was freezing outside. So the gloves could have affected it in some kind of way, but that was a little bit of something I needed to get used to. Now that I'm home and checking out these images on the computer, I put the same exposure side by side and can see kind of a difference between them. And it could be the different focal lengths that these were shot at, and the Canon camera brought in a little bit more light than the Sony camera. But it's the same megapixels and they're both full frame sensors, so that all remains the same. But the Sony camera is just a little bit cooler and a little bit darker. And like I said, it could be to the different focal lengths, but I still think both images are beautiful. A few people have asked me if I purchased an adapter ring and if I'm going to shoot with my Canon lenses on the Sony, and yes, I ordered a Metabones adapter ring for that. A few people have recommended it to me and I just received it in the mail, so I'm really excited to try this out, and I will definitely let you guys know what I think about the Metabones for the Sony to Canon mount. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was just kind of my first impression, and once I get to know the camera a little bit better and become more comfortable with it, I would love to tell you guys how I feel about it. And if you like to see that, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. I had an umbrella, and then eventually the wind was so strong my umbrella flipped up, and so it was like an